everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm just going to do a quick little tutorial of the Julie Nutting stamp that I got from Country Craft Creations, and I am using the Mother's Day collection exclusively available by countrycraftcreations.com, and I am having fun with these little dolls, basically making paper dolls, and I'm just going to get right to it. So I picked up the Julie Nutting stamp, and I have some older ones that of course I've been playing around with, but I picked up this one and this one, Melissa, from Country Craft Creations in the store right now, and then the Prima pad is available that gives you kind of these skin tone colors, and this is really good. This is a newer packet. I have an older packet, but this seems to be thicker paper, and you get 30 sheets out of it, which are double-sided. So to get started, what I am doing is I'm using the stamp, and I don't even use a block. I just for the larger girls. So I decide which skin tone I'm going to want for my paper, for my background. And what I do is I take my black ink. You could take, a different color, but I would just recommend having something dark enough that it's easy enough for you to see and cut around, because you're going to be doing fussy cutting. So if you don't like fussy cutting, there are a couple of these that have some dies available with them, but I don't have any dies with these. So I'm using my brayer just to easily put pressure just a little bit to make sure that I have all of the stamp pushed down onto the paper. I'm not squashing it, just gently rolling it along, and you can see I still had a little bit of area that is lighter than I probably would have liked to have, but let me see if I can zoom in here on this other one, and so you can see. But for me, this is okay with especially my background. So this is going to be the first layer, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp a couple of these and cut them out, and then they're going to layer on top of each other. So this is from the Mother's Day collection, like I said, CCC. This is the back side, and here's the dress. So I already did the same stamp on the dress, and what I'm going to do is cut this out. A couple of other tips that I have for you is the scraps. So with the scrap, if I want her hair color to be brown, whereas I had the background stamp in more of a light flesh color tone, what I do is, again, put some ink on, and I'm just going to lay this right over top and make sure to press down, and then I'm going to use my little brayer to again try to evenly distribute, pressing into the paper. And with that, there you go. That looks a lot better. So that will make it easy for me to follow the line work and cut around. And I'm just going to take a minute and do just that, and you can follow along. Okay, so another tip when you're cutting these out is to probably do all the intricate cutting everywhere else before you do around the neck, just so it's going to be very, easy to bend the neck. Also, with the underneath the arms, what you can do is just easily poke through the location, and then in the center make a couple of snips to get to the edge, and then finish your cutting. So I'm just going to do this real quick. And yet another way that you could do this underneath the arm is to just easily make a couple snips here. And then we'll glue her hand back in her pocket in just a little bit. So this paper is thick, so I'm going to be really working around with the scissors. So now, after you have a couple of those cut out, now you start the layering process. So you see how this is going to come together like this. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue, which dries clear. See how pretty that would have looked with the other side also. It's not reversible though, so you had to determine which paper you want to use in the beginning. I'm just going to set her right down. It's right down on her. If you like, use your bone folder. Give a good stick. Here comes the little teeny tiny pieces. Now, if you don't like working with tiny pieces, this is probably not the project for you. Because there is a lot of cutting and there's a lot of piecing, especially if you want it to have more dimension. So with the dress or with the hair, I might cut out a couple of them so that I can have more of a thickness to it, or a height, however you want to look at that. So see, I just layer it right on top, and because I cut out the entirety of the image with the background paper or the skin tone, flesh tones, I have a little bit more sturdiness. Believe that. This is a little tiny hair thing right there. So now if I want to give just her top a little bit more thickness, what I do is I will find my leftover paper, and if I only want that area, I'm only going to ink up that area. And I grab pretty much a trash piece of paper so I don't ink all over my desk, and then I will just press that down, give it a little roll, pick it back up, and now I will cut out just that portion. So here I'm going to cut out basically the belt and the bow. so that I can layer those. The belt, the bow, and the top, I guess I should say. I was just thinking, we'll give her chest a little bit of dimension here. Rude.